Did you know that 1 in 6 children has a developmental delay or disability? My 3-year-old daughter is nonverbal and was recently diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder right before she turned 3 years old. The whole process to receive her diagnosis was super overwhelming and exhausting. It was a 2-year process, and looking back now, I just wish so badly at the time that someone could have told me what I needed to do when I first noticing my daughter's developmental delays. I'm super excited to share with you something that every parent needs to know about, and that is early intervention. Early intervention is giving your child services and support they need to help them with their developmental delays. I'm super passionate about this because if I wouldn't have persevered with getting Lucy tested when I first noticed her having delays at 18 months, we wouldn't be at where we are today, where she has the resources, therapies that she needs to progress, and she has progressed so much. Even though my daughter's delays led to an autism diagnosis, this video will apply to any parent searching for guidance on a child who is showing delays. So let's jump in. I'm going to share with you the 4 steps every parent needs to know to get early intervention for their child. Step 1, seeing the signs. Sadly, many children with a developmental disability aren't identified until after starting school, so like that 5-6-year-old age range. So noticing signs of delay is crucial for a child's progression. So how can you know if your child's delayed? Looking up where your child should be at for milestones is a great start. The CDC website is a great resource where they have a whole section on milestones explaining where your child should be at for what age. After looking this up, let's just say you have certain concerns about your child. Next step would be setting up a pediatrician doctor visit. This is pretty obvious because it's pretty typical to have your child go to a routine pediatrician doctor visit. But I really had to push my daughter's pediatrician for extra resources. And that is my advice in this step. Be very detailed, explaining your child's behaviors with your pediatrician. Tell them you want your child evaluated with further testing, whether it be hearing, vision. Your pediatrician will be able to test your child in all of these areas, which will then allow your pediatrician to refer your child for specific therapies if needed. If you're in the United States and your child is younger than 3 years old, you qualify for a free early intervention program that is in every single state in the United States. My daughter started doing this free program when she was 20 months old, and it helped us out a lot. If you're not in the United States, your child's pediatrician should still be able to give you resources that are in your area that can help your child with their delays. And if anything else, definitely research what early intervention resources are available in your area. So if you have a child younger than 3 years old, go to step 3. If not, you can skip ahead to step 4. Step 3, I'm going to talk about this early intervention free program that is in every single state in the United States and available to any child 2 years old or younger. I'm super grateful for this program because it allowed my daughter to get autism testing in 1 year, which is still a really long time, versus the 2 years or more long wait time that it would have been. To look up the contact information for your specific state, you can go to the CDC website and search early intervention, and early intervention contact information by state will pop up, which will have a list of all states with the program's name for your area and their contact information. I'll also put a link in the description below for this exact page. You'll first need a referral from your child's pediatrician to get set up with a program, and then someone will call you. It's about an hour-long phone call where they'll ask you all sorts of questions about your child's behaviors. Then if your child qualifies, you can receive the free services. So what exactly is this program? From our experience, a service provider would come to our home weekly for about an hour and share with me as the parent different strategies and ways I can help Lucy with her different delays. Now, when I first got involved in this program, I was thinking this is going to be awesome. Lucy's going to get speech therapy and help with her cognitive learning and things, but it wasn't like that at all. It was all parent-led. So the lady we had, she was a speech therapist, but she didn't do any actual therapy with Lucy. She just taught me different things I could do to help Lucy, which had its pros and cons. I was already in a mental state where I was just in survival mode and I was desperate for any extra relief. So I felt like I was already doing the things that she had been teaching me, and I knew that Lucy needed proper speech therapy, occupational therapy, those things. But all in all, I am still super grateful for this program because it did lead Lucy to get her autism testing. And I think any parent with a child that's 2 years or younger that is showing signs of delays, this program will still benefit you and help you a ton. But I did really have to push for Lucy to get further testing, which leads me to my next step. Step 4, get your child tested by a psychologist. If you have concerns with your child's delays, whether it's behaviors, language, emotional issues, whatever it may be, a psychologist can help. But my biggest advice with this is don't just go to anyone, because I've known people where they took their child to a psychologist and the evaluation process was not in depth and their child was misdiagnosed, or they were told, your child's fine, they'll grow out of it. So it is worth it to go to someone you trust and who has that professional experience, who will give your child an in-depth evaluation. So you're probably thinking, how do I find the right psychologist? Going back to your child's pediatrician, you can ask them who they would highly recommend, but I would also do your own research. We were fortunate enough to live close to Idaho State University. Lucy's psychologist, Dr. Rob Risky, has the most in-depth testing process in all of Idaho, so people from all over come to be tested by him. He told me that he diagnoses children as early as 12 months old for autism. So definitely try to go through a university or a hospital and network. Go on Facebook to find a support group of others in your community and ask them if there's a psychologist that they would recommend. You as the parent know your child's needs best, so you'll be able to know when you find a good fit. The biggest issue here is that a lot of renowned psychologists have a 2 to 3 year long wait time just for your child to be tested. Isn't that crazy? It was hard enough waiting for my daughter to be tested for a year. I can't imagine having to wait that long. And unfortunately, that wait list is just out of our control. However, doing therapies your child needs during that wait time will be super beneficial for your child. If you have Medicaid, services like speech therapy, behavioral therapy, occupational therapy, all of that will be covered. But if you don't have Medicaid, like the situation we were in, therapies are very expensive. We couldn't afford spending hundreds of dollars every week for my daughter just to go to 30 minutes of speech therapy. So during that time, I just had to do the best I could with at-home therapies. I recently posted a video showing how I do speech therapy, work on behaviors with my daughter at home, so you can check that video out. Put the link in the description for that. You can find therapists on YouTube that will help coach you as the parent on what you can do at home to help your child with their delays. And if your child is school age, you can ask the school about resources they have to help your child. And once again, network. As I've been on our own journey, I have learned there are always parents in your same situation that know of free resources. So once again, if you notice your child isn't meeting one or more milestones, has lost skills they once had, or you have other concerns, act now. Don't wait. I know how overwhelming and exhausting it is to want your child to have the help they need and not being able to get it. But just know, the time and love you're giving your child each day is the best therapy you could ever give them. I hope this video helped you guys. I'm really excited for next week's video because I'm going to share with you what you can do once your child receives a diagnosis. I'm also going to talk about an amazing program called Katie Beckett that allows my daughter Lucy to have a yearly budget.